Hi, my name is Dave, and once again, on behalf of GC Ovens, I welcome you. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing analytical columns and, of course, the Fluidless Column Oven, the FCO. We make two basic sizes of FCOs. This is our small frame FCO, and we also have a large frame FCO. The functioning of both of these ovens is exactly the same. The difference is the size of the frame, which is what the column goes on. How come? Well, when you buy a column, it comes on a frame. If it's a 0.53 fused silica, for example, this is about as small as you can coil it, otherwise there's a big chance of it breaking. This is what we have our large frame FCO for, is columns such as this. And bigger pack columns and maybe micro pack columns. But the choice is for those columns that can't be coiled small, we have the large frame FCO. However, like this column, if it's a metal capillary column or a narrower bore column, you can easily coil it in a smaller diameter. And this is what we have our small frame FCO for, which is really our most popular FCO. When I think of fast GC, the first thing that comes to mind is, can you change the carrier gas? Going from helium to hydrogen gives you a run that's twice as fast with the same resolution. That works great. Other things you can do is try a shorter, narrower bore column. You get the same amount of theoretical plates in a shorter column. That makes the analysis faster too. There's other people out there that have analyses in seconds where you're using a very narrow bore column that's only 1 or 2 meters long. Can you use that on an FCO? Of course you can. We can certainly get analyses in seconds, but we're not limited to that. We can also use a 15-meter column, any diameter, any length. 30 meter, same thing is true. 60 meter, of course you can. But that's not all. We can still put a pack column on an FCO or a micro pack column on an FCO. With an FCO, you can have fast GC analysis, but use your favorite column. We offer no limitations. I have to tell you, I've been in the GC business a long time, and I never really thought too much about coiling a column. You just purchased a column, it came on the column cage, you installed it in your GC, and you were done. But when we started this project, it became apparently clear early on that this was just not going to fit inside here, and we had to come up with a solution. So what we did is we developed our own column cage, and let's just dive right in. Inside of the FCO, there's the outer cover with insulation, and you can see that there is an integrated column cage. There's 2 tabs on this one, and then the column cage, oops, got the little tab a little close, the column cage comes right off. This is a very custom column cage just for this particular FCO. It's very low mass. The whole thing weighs about 15 grams. Most of the weight is in the base of the frame, which is actually outside of the oven. And we do this because we don't want the legs of the cage to transfer any heat. When you want to coil a column, there's really only one thing that you need to consider. We have these legs coming out of the FCO oven, which is a little heated zone for the injector and the detector portions of the column that stick out of the oven going to the detector. So we just need to coil the column so the outlet goes along where the legs are. And it doesn't really matter if we go this way or we go this way, the outlet ends up being the same. So in this particular one, we need to start and go in a clockwise manner. Now, you might not see this, but every third leg here, we have sleeving on this particular column frame to help allow us to keep the column in place because we want to stretch it over the oven. So here we go. Okay, once we coil the column, we want to put the column out equally spaced over the heated area of the FCO. So I just stretch it out a little bit. These sleevings help keep it in place. And that's not so bad. Okay. Now, the column frame is for capillary columns, but you may not need this if you have a pack column, for example. You can just wrap the column. This is a 2-meter 1/8" stainless steel, and you can just be wrapped right around the FCO body, or micro pack can also do that. Okay, now we've got this together. Our next step is reassembling it. Okay, carefully slid the frame and the column back on the oven and spread the column out to over the heater zones. You know, you need to keep about, a centimeter on either side free, and that helps seal the oven itself. We have these two little legs, this piece of column coming on this side, this piece of column coming on that side, and then it's simply just to feed these back through the holes here, column up through, got a little extra to trim off on this side, up through this, and then seal the oven back up, and voila, we have our column sealed very nicely inside of our FCO oven. And in the next episode, we're going to show how to install this in the GC. But this isn't too bad. You can probably do it yourself, although we do offer the service of coiling the column on here for you. So either way it works, and we'll be off to the next. Thank you so much.